What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the HTM buddy build of the U.S.S. Reliant. I am Jordan with Aligning the Stars.
And I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And I have got progress.
Right on. I would like to thank all our viewers who keep coming back every time. And I'd also like to thank that one person or that one viewer who identifies as a horse. But yeah.
I'm not actually a horse. I'm a broom. Classic Family Guy scene. Oh my God. I gotta be honest, Diane. I'm a little confused. And we go off the rails right off the bat, as we do. No, definitely thanks to all the viewers. You guys are carrying this build and keeping us moving forward. It's something that is acutely aware of on my mind as I'm like, as Ken keeps putting out videos and I just, keep not. So here we are. We are in week, 34 of this build. And you're getting close. I'm getting closer. So let's go ahead and start with you and talk a little bit about what you got going on this week.
All right. So following up from last week, I did get my super phasers set up with fiber optic filament able to go through. So
Nice.
I'm gonna have those attached here. I do have the orange lights burnt in, all that kind of stuff. I drilled the holes into my main hull for passing wire through from these areas into the main hull. So what I want to do this week is attach the side areas where the super phasers are going to go. And then I want to attach these little bumps we got from Cass that Will designed to replace on the ends here. More
Yeah,
of a hyper.
those are really
up good
pronounced
part.
on the kit.
Yeah, they're just the difference is just night and day.
Yeah.
So I want to get those replaced, get the lights put in for the I don't know, they just running lights or whatever they are.
Those would be, I guess, nav lights. They're non-blinkers. They're just they're nav lights. That's the best way of putting it. Yeah. Or formation lights. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to call them. Beacons.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be putting those in. And then what I want to do is come along, clean these up a little bit, kind of get the overspray black off where my Raytheon's going to be. And for that, I'll just be using some, I could use some lacquer thinner, or I can see first how some isopropyl alcohol maybe will work. I don't know. We'll see. I'll go through all that, clean this up best I can. Then I want to come in and put on some spray adhesive or spray adhesive adhesion promoter, and then come in with the primer color on these parts.
Wow.
So that I can, and if I do have time, maybe I'll even mix up a little paint.
That's awesome, man.
And that way I'll be prepared for the following week.
You're getting close, man. It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm still contemplating what my paint scheme is going to, like how I'm going to do my paint, but definitely going to be watching with interest for you as you're going through and mix it. I do have those paints. They're sitting over in the closet right now. So I haven't decided if I'm going to use them or not because it's a lot of work, but I am also super fascinated. And if you would like, can you show the can of adhesion, spray adhesion promoter?
Yeah, I can show it right now. So what I have is the Duplicolor adhesion from Promoter. This one's more for plastics. Granted, it's automotive plastic, but the other version is for automotive metallics, like metals. So you want the plastic one.
Okay.
And when I went to, I got my Canadian Tire living in Canada here. This was in the automotive section, whereas the primer, it was in the paint section.
Okay.
So, because there are automotive paints that are in the automotive section, whereas this was just the regular paint section in the store where your house paint is and stuff.
Okay. And he recommends, what is it? Mass Designs recommends using the Rust-Oleum, right?
Yes, he does. He recommended Rust-Oleum, the 2X Ultra Cover. It's a paint and a primer in one.
Got it.
So it normally
Oh, is
also
that
says
so?
that. So sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, it's so that is your primer and base coat together.
Yep, all in
Oh,
one.
wow.
So, and it normally does also bond with plastic, but he still recommends the adhesion promoter.
Got it.
Yeah, and then you're obviously going to want to give it several days of sitting around before you even, think of putting on masks.
Right.
So,
Wow.
but I mean, a couple
And
days
just
is not really that big of a deal when you're dealing with something this scale.
right.
So,
So, and just for reference, in case anybody doesn't know, what do those do, like specifically?
the adhesion promoter.
Yes.
So basically, all that's gonna. I've never used it. I'm just going off by videos from like Will and Boyd.
Boyd, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Bestia.
So where he puts it on, and I believe it leaves a little bit of a bonded tackiness to it, is my understanding.
Okay.
And like my AK primers that I used to use, I don't use them so much anymore. They would do that too. Anywhere where I've put them on, it still remains a little bit tacky. So when your next layer of paint
Oh,
that goes on is,
it grabs it.
yeah, it grabs it really well. So my
Oh, very
understanding is
cool.
that that's what this is going to do as well.
Very cool. I honestly, this seems like such a cool paint technique. The more I think about it, I kind of want to do this as well. Wow, this is cool. All right. Well, I'm going to be following along quite close because I think that all I would need is those two things, besides all like the mixing components for the thinner, which is, I'm going to need to gather all that stuff as well. But yeah, very cool. Well, thanks for the little description on that. For me, unless you got anything else, and I'm not cutting you off, am I?
No, that's kind of it for me. But we will talk about casts once you're done.
Sweet. Yeah. So we got a little update from Cass. So otherwise, my plan for this week is to go ahead and get all of these wires tidied up and put in place. Um, get all my common negatives together, all of the little details to get the spaghetti away. Eh, I can't deal with the spaghetti. How you deal with it sometimes kind of blows my mind. And so when I'm doing the installation, I tend to try to just wrap it up all at once. And so in between, I'm going to go ahead and take care of tying this in. Probably going to take care of this on stream this weekend. I'm working on just getting all the LEDs paired together. And then from there, as I mentioned in the previous week, it's actually time to get the top of the saucer taken care of. So I'm going to be doing a light blocking demonstration. I'm going to show how I like to light block. Also need to trim these tabs up a little bit here. I forgot about those. They don't quite, the RCS thrusters don't quite line up properly. It's not so bad that I'm going to go ahead and do anything about it. But the tabs on one of the sides, I can't remember which one. And that's
Port side.
specifically the tabs. It's the port side, yeah. So they don't quite line up because the model kit doesn't quite line up. Anyway, so get that taken care of. I'm going to get my light boxes installed. And then from there, kind of like in the episode that's just about to release here in a few minutes as of recording, I'm going to be putting all my running lights in place, getting my dual red running lights sitting up here, and then basically get ready to like tie all that together and get the basically from there get prepped up to get ready for the A and B deck and the main bridge and then the planetary sensor. So I'm going to try to get all the rest of my electronics installed at least on the top of these parts, and then I'm going to be doing, in order to connect the nav lights and stuff like that that blink, I'm going to be tying each one of these into a JST connector so that I can keep the model modular. And so when it's ready, time for assemble, I can just go ahead and plug those in together so that I can just set it on top. And that way I can keep all the components separate as long as I possibly can. So that's kind of the name of the game for me. I do want to try to get some more done this weekend, but I have to be realistic with myself. And so that's kind of the plan for me. And then from there, there's probably going to be one more episode of doing some saucer lighting before I can get caught up on the phasers and the roll bar and the rest. So I'm only probably a couple of episodes behind you beyond all of the prep that you've done, and you've spent a lot more time doing the Raytheon effect and stuff like that. And so my cutting corners has allowed me to kind of catch up this a little bit. So but yeah, that's my plan for this one for this week, and I'm looking forward to executing it. I'm looking forward to, honestly, the electronics. It's a lot, and for as cool as it is to do this many LEDs, it's the one thing that's kind of holding me back, because there's a lot of thought that has to go into it, like how you're going to tie everything together, like how everything's going to go. Like, you can't just go all willy-nilly. You have to actually think about it beforehand, and sometimes I'm just not a thinking man. So but yeah, so that's going to be the kind of plan. And then in the episode following after that, when we do the A and B deck main bridge planetary, we'll also be taking care of the warp crystal at the same time. I need to get I need to figure out how addressable LEDs work. So that's going to be my plan for that. So yeah, that's what I got going on this week. Let's talk a little bit about Cass and some of the things that he's let us know what's going on.
Yeah, in speaking with Cass there, I sent him some emails, and we've been talking a bit. He said that he did manage to get his 3D printer repaired and kind of dialed in, where it's getting he's getting really nice prints out now. And then he said coming this month, it's going to be there's going to be some new releases. There's going to be Reliant window inserts.
Cool.
So I'm not sure what he means exactly by that, but
I'm wondering if there's the little clear pieces that are going to set into the windows.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking he means as well. Also, for anybody doing the 537 Enterprise, and I don't know if he'll be doing it for the 350 as well, but he's going to be having the Star Trek V observation lounge.
Oh, cool.
Right at the very front of the ship with the window. You can see in Will's video, he did that on his Star Trek V ship, and it's even got the wheel there from an old ship.
Very cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, and then he said some other Reliant detail bits and additional 1650 TOS bits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So he's really getting, once that 3D printer, like his 3D printer going down really took him down. I think he's got a few of them, but he's been relying primarily on the Saturn IV, if I'm not mistaken. And the Saturn IV is a famously temperamental machine. That's for sure.
And I just wanted to show our viewers something I got from Cass a couple months ago. But this is his conversion kit from a Galaxy class starship, so the Enterprise D, into a Nebula class. And these are the parts that you get from him. So you can kind of see the clear parts with the detail that's on them is really nice.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then, yeah, so you're replacing a lot of the like the hull parts, that sort of thing.
Right.
Upgraded parts, and these are nicely recessed panel lines.
Oh, excellent.
And then you got the big sensor dome / weapons pod, whatever you want to call it, on the top. Yeah. So there we go.
That is so cool.
And then all these other little parts for it come with it. The deflector dish, and I'm not sure what those little ones are.
Oh. Huh.
I'll have to look in the instructions. But then I also, at the same time, I purchased from him the upgrade set for the nacelles, because you're still using the Galaxy class nacelles. So yeah.
So you use the 1400 scale Enterprise D, and you're going to basically build the saucer and the nacelles, and that's all you keep from that kit, correct?
Yes, that's pretty much it. Just the nacelles and the saucer. You are correct.
Awesome. Now, are you going to be planning on lighting this bad boy?
Yes. So you have an option when you order something like this from Cass at Lake Monster Details. You can order it as opaque for not lighting, or you can order it clear for lighting. So I want clear for
Cool.
lighting, so that way you got all your windows in there. You can, mask
Mask
them
them off.
off
Yeah.
and paint and have just your light on the inside. So
Wow, that's going to be a lot of little masks.
yeah, and
That
then
is so
again,
cool.
yeah, same here. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a super awesome build. He's got a couple kits like that. It's not just that one. There's a couple other like conversion kits that are available on his site as well, right?
He does, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely check out Lake Monster Details. Cass does an amazing work, and he's taken over from Don's Light and Magic back in the day. So, we're talking legacy parts, and he's just a fantastic dude and has been incredibly generous with us. And so it's really cool to see him getting back up and printing.
Yeah.
It's too bad we won't get those window inserts on our own, because those would be really, really nice to have.
Yes. uh,
Uh, but instead, we're gonna have to mask off, and oh boy, yeah, that's something to think about. Are you gonna be doing or the UV resin or microcrystal clear?
that's a good question. I think I will. You could always like do a test. You could always just do a
Yep,
couple windows in microcrystal clear just to see how they look and how light
yep,
reacts to them. Like you can just do one section of windows, like say one of these front ones up here. Because
yep.
if you don't like it, you can just take a little pick and pick out
Pick them out.
the glue.
Exactly.
'Cause that's all it is. Microcrystal clear is just basically white school glue that's
Well,
more purified and allows it goes more clear.
yep.
So
All right. Well, that's something to think about. Just the things keep cropping up with this model, man. Let me tell you.
but I'm thinking probably the way to go in the end will most likely be UV.
Yeah, and do the Canadian Starships technique, where you fill it up and then you just use a razor blade to clean it off before you wind up masking it down before paint. So,
Yeah.
real easy to do, much easier than the Enterprise D from Fan Home, that's for sure.
Yeah. One upside I have, because for my light boxes, they all have the white styrene in there.
Yep,
I can actually just not put anything to block the windows off to start with for the priming phase.
yep,
So, and it shouldn't really, because it's not going to be spraying directly into the windows.
exactly.
So any overspray that gets in there shouldn't really affect it much.
Yep, and that's
So
where I realized that I probably went a little wrong in choosing not to use mine. I once again, uh, regrets. Gotta love it. All right. Well, that seems like a pretty good little intro for this week. I really look forward to seeing what you get done.
I'm looking forward to seeing your progress as well.
All right, my friend. Well, I'll see you at the bench.
We'll see you at the bench. All right, welcome back to the hobby bench. So let's get these lights put in that I've managed to burn in and get ready to go. So what we're going to do, I'll move this stuff out of the way for now. These are my phaser lights. I'll put them aside. And here are my two lights here for these navigation lights or whatever they may be. So let's get them put into place. So what I'll do, just bend them a little bit into shape. I'm gonna get them to kind of where they are facing into our hole, and then I'll UV glue it in with also a little bit of fiber optic filament here. So like that. So I'll kind of do them both, hopefully at the same time. So let me get some stuff set up and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have some UV resin here and a toothpick. I warmed up my UV resin in the regular way, which is put it the bottom in my armpit for a few minutes. So I got my light here. And of course it unplugged from the negative because the wire is so fine on these things. Now, looking at it, I know I don't want this light to be as bright as it is. So when I run it down through, so when I run it down through into the pylon, into the main body, when I go to resist it, I will put a higher resisted resistor on there. So just thought I'd let you guys know. There we go. I think that's kind of where I want it. All right. Because it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really seem to stand out a whole lot in the movie. Like, yeah, you can see it, but it's not a main focal point. I'm really having problems getting this twisted the way I want it. All right, I think there. Okay. Let's get some of my UV resin here. And of course it popped out because what else would it do? Tell you what, let's get some UV resin down in the hole a little bit, not too deep. Because then I also want to come in from the other side with the fiber optic filament. Okay. Just like that. And I just needed to bite a little bit here so that I can come in with a little bit more and really give it a good purchase. So there we go. Give it a little bit more, like that. And that should give us what we're looking for in our light. All right, that should be good. You can see that's coming through there, really nice. Take a piece of filament and see if we can, yeah, that resin's coming through pretty good right now. Yeah, so jam that in there best I can. Oh. There we go. All right, so any of these fiber optic filaments I'm putting in like this style, well, I'm going to have to cut them down before I begin priming and painting. But this one in the end, I think I'm going to want it sticking out a little bit. So this can just be used as a placeholder if need be, get painted over, all that kind of stuff. And then because it's not way down deep, it should be able to be wiggled like a loose tooth and eventually pulled out, not causing any issues. So that's something I can certainly hopefully do if I need, and then put in a fresh fiber optic filament and trim it down to where it needs to be for the final product. All right, let's get our other light in place. Let's try putting the fiber optic cable in first and see what that gives us. Okay, that should do it. Let's reconnect my negative here and see how it looks. There we have it. So that'll be our two lights in there. This one will be in there a lot better. But like I said, I can still probably pry it out if need be. I think your better option is, if you're doing this yourself, would be the first way I did it, where you put the light in place, glue it, kind of use the UV resin to affix it in place, then come in with the fiber optic filament in there, and then it is to do it this way, because I think if I try to pull this out, it could cause the light on the inside to break loose. Something to keep in mind. If need be, though, I could still cut it pretty flush, and just to fix the smallest, tiniest little bit of filament on top of it to come up to this this point. Because to me, it looks like the lights are almost like they are raised up. They're little light towers, I guess. So anyway, that's done now. So we'll move on to getting these pieces here replaced. All right, so here we have our little replacement pieces here that Will designed. Thanks again, Will, for all your hard work. And I've gone and I've cut these filaments down a bit so they're not so much in the way. What I'm going to do, first of all, if we look, you can see it is the full length. So it's not just these little bumps you're cutting off. It's this raised portion even along in here. So what I'll do is I'll come in with I'll make sure my wires are not in the way. I'll come in here with my plastic sprue cutters, and I will start to cut that off. Now, yes, I could use the sonic saber, but I don't think that's necessary here, as it's more than likely to remove more material than I really want to. There we go. So I can come in here and just kind of snip this down as far as I dare, and then come in with like a sanding sponge so as not to generate any flat spots, and just sand it kind of to the contour I want. So here I have like a sanding sponge. So just trying to avoid that fiber optic cable. So hindsight being 2020, do this before you pop up your fiber optic filaments coming out. I think I'll start with a sanding stick that's a little bit more aggressive, just to knock down the high spots. And then we'll come in afterwards with the sponge when we start getting closer. Now, it appears that this is a little bit longer than the original piece. I'm going to keep it that way for now, because we can see once we get these parts in if it does a nice overlap or not. And then if it does not, then what we can look at is certainly trimming it down at that point, or sanding it down, whatever the case is. So, like that. All right, I think I have this piece here prepared. Now, before I start gluing, I'm going to go to the other side and ready that side before getting out the glue. So now I have the both sides filed down and sanded off and whatnot, and ready to be attached. Now, yes, I did knock out a piece of filament, which is okay. I kind of thought I would at some point here. We can come back in later and reattach that. For now, we'll use our CA glue. Just like that. And we'll attach our first point. Now, I'm trying to bring it as close to this edge as I can. Like that. And then kind of have just a hair of it overlapping on the ends. Not so much here on the side. So, I'm just putting it here though, just to get some CA glue in there. There we go. And we will keep that in place best I can. And we'll come in with our little bit of our Instaset. Just like that. And that should allow us to keep that nice and secure. Let's go on with the other side. So again, we'll CA glue it up. We'll take our part and bring it down to kind of same position again, where it's kind of right up against this edge here, and the overlap on each side is even, which still is not much of an overlap. And then I'm just filling the gap here with some CA. And then I lick my finger and quickly rub off the excess CA glue. All right, now we're gonna hold that in position and quickly give it a little shot of Instaset, also known as Kicker. It's just a CA glue accelerator. And there we go. Let's see how that looks. I'd say that looks good. So there we have our improved details. I think those are supposed to be phasers too, possibly, but more of a regular phaser as opposed to a super phaser. I'm not certain. I don't know who would know. Now I'm going to sand off this excess UV resin here. And then, let's see here. Poke with that hole a little bit. Just get that excess out of there. Not digging deep. I don't want to disrupt my light. So I'm going to cut a new piece that's a little bit longer, a little easier to manage of my filament here. And not super long. Make sure it can kind of go in there. Yes, it can. So what I'll do again is I will secure that with some of my UV resin, and I'll be right back and we'll test it and make sure it works. All right, so now that I've dug that out and put in a new piece of UV, or sorry, of ultra, a fiber optic filament, let's make sure it's still working. Yes, yes it is. If I can clamp this. There we go. Yep, still working, still good. And like I said, we have our better details on by Will. So thanks again, Will. And I think we are golden. So that being done, we can move on. Next, we're going to move on to our pylons, and we'll get them ready to go. All right, so moving along here, we're going to attach these parts of the pylon that goes around the superphaser. We're going to attach them into place and get them ready for paint and whatnot in the future here. So, take some of my Timmy Extra Thin. And we can just give it a nice little bit there just to kind of get it tacked into place, and we'll come along with a little bit more and permanently secure it. So I want to make sure that we have our best placement possible. You see this part's a little high, so bring that down. Because remember, I did take out the a lot of the pins throughout this model. All right, so it's tacked. We'll come in with a little bit more and just make sure it is for sure good to go. Stinky, stinky. There is a newer Tamiya you can get extra thin that is low odor. So if the smell really bothers you, that's something you can think about. There's also a citrus, I think, smelling one that's been around for a few years longer. It's more to dissuade Japanese children from glue sniffing, apparently, or something. I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, so there we have it. So I'm going to have to come along and light block in here, so that way when our superphaser is firing, that it is not leaking out. Like, it is light blocked on this side, but it's not light blocked on this side, so it's just something to keep in mind, that light blocking will need to be done. There we go. Let's get our other one in place. There we go. Looking good. So I'll get this clamped up, and I think once that's kind of given some time to dry and whatnot, what I'll do then is come back here and I will start cleaning up a lot of this overspray here, so that my Raytheon is given the best chance possible to shine through. And then we can, after that, we can go through, fix up any masking that needs to be fixed up, get all that ready, and we can start looking at getting some paint. So exciting. So I'll be back. As you can see here now, I've done the light blocking up in here in both of these for the superphaser, so that way our orange lights don't bleed through. Everything else was light blocked, just not those new pieces we had attached. Additionally, while I was priming that for light blocking, I came in here and I primed these black. The primer I was using for light blocking and for making these black, I was just using some Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black. So that's what I've gone and used. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this all dry overnight. I'll come in tomorrow and I will use my Viejo Model Air. This is the metallic black, which is what I used on the other side, where the lights can be coming through our chiller grills. This side, no lights coming through, but I'm going to use this same metallic color to paint these. And then Once they're dry, I can look at masking them. I'll have to go ahead and I'll have to mask off the RCS thrusters. I'll have to fix up my masking just along here. And I just kind of went over my seams again here and here, and I noticed that I can still see the seam here when I put wet paint on. Now, when it dries, you really can't see it. So I'm going to rely on that, and hopefully that doesn't come back and bite me in the butt. But once I've kind of got all that done, masked up, I'll go around. I'll start cleaning everything up best I can, and then for this product here, the adhesion promoter, what you need to do is make sure that your surface is clean. So that's what I'll be doing, and then you're also going to want to lightly sand. So I'll be using my sanding sponge because it's not a very high grit. Sorry, it is a high grit. It's not very abrasive. So that'll just give me a little, light scuffing that the adhesion promoter requires for best results. So that way this isn't just a super fine finish. If I find that then maybe that's not giving me what I want, maybe I'll come in with something a little bit slightly more aggressive, or maybe a newer sanding sponge that's not as worn out as this one. Yeah, you can kind of see it's sanding down this little black paint spot I had here. So it is able to do that. So that's what I'll be going around with, I think, to assist in the adhesion promoter's adhesion to our plastic. So that's going to be it for today. I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll just come in here and paint this metallic black, like I said, and start my masking and cleaning up. So for me, it's going to be overnight. For you, it's just give me a moment. So I'll be right back. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to continue on now. This has had plenty of time to dry. And now I can come in here with my metallic black from Viejo, and I can paint up this side of the grills. And we'll come back, and then I'm going to test my light blocking after that, make sure that that it is sufficient enough. So I'll be right back. So I hope you can tell the difference here, but this is the metallic black, different looking than the black. You can kind of tell with the black up here, and then the metallic black right there. So I'm going to give that a little bit of time to dry, maybe about half an hour. Then I'm going to go around, start cleaning everything up, and giving it a bit of a sanding like we had discussed yesterday, or a few minutes ago, for those of you who are actually watching. And then I can look at, once that's all done, I can actually look at maybe hopefully masking this off so that we can, as well as masking off our RCS thrusters, fixing up any masking on here that we need to, and then I can look at doing our adhesion promoter. So yeah, that's where I'm at for now, so I'll be right back. All right, so you can see I have my first one done, been cleaned up, and then sanded. I used some different sanding sponges here to kind of go over and make sure that the area is not too glossy smooth. I wanted to make sure that I can come along with something like this and just gently sand, and then not sand a wire, and then just do this sort of thing to give the surface a good chance for the adhesion promoter to really get into it. So basically all I'll have to do now is come in this one and clean this one up. What I've been using is I tried using isopropyl alcohol to clean up around. It's just too slow. It wouldn't really take it very well. So I'll come in with some lacquer thinners, and that really cleans it up really well. I do that with lacquer thinner on either a paper towel or Q-tips, and just go around, clean up the whole surface, and then give it a good sand with my sanding sponges. I've gone and taken my lights here, and I put them in there. You can see that they are light blocked now, so that's good. If I go down to the tube where the wires go, I can see it a little bit, but I'm not too worried because I'm not going to be putting it there. So there we have it, and we'll carry on now with this one. So I'll pause the recording here, and we'll come back and see what we've got. All right, so here we have both sides now taped up and masked, so looking good, and the whole thing's been cleared up and sanded to kind of give it that rough texture, so we're good there. Now I've gone ahead, see how well you can see that. You can see I've taped up the thrusters so that we have our thruster ports, I guess, masked up. So we're good there. The one thing I'm going to need to do here first is put a little light blocking on this clear part here. So what I'll do is I'll lay some masking tape around the part here, so that way I only spray just this little part here to give it the light blocking it needs. I'll just go with some sort of black paint. If I need, I could also go with like a metallic paint, like a silver from Tamiya or something, and that'll help light block as well, and then go in with a black. So there's a couple of options. I'm not really looking to prime it, so to speak, like to have it ready primered and whatnot. It doesn't really need it. It is a small area, and it doesn't really need to be masked off, I don't believe either. It's just gonna be painted yellow. So in the end, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll get those light blocked and ready to go, and then we can, I think we'll be ready to start going at it next week with the painting. So give me a moment, I'll be right back. All right, so here I've gone and I did a black primer using my Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and then I came in with some AK Extreme Metal steel. I think any metallic really would work because it's got the big metallic fleck in it, and it really helps block that light. And then I went over it again with another coating of the Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black again to light block those in. So there we have it. As you can see, looking really good. I can still see my masks. Worst case, if the masks weren't there, I could always come in with like a toothpick afterwards and scrape those out. So there we go. There and there. So we're all good there. That's all light blocked and ready. So I'm gonna have to let that dry. And unfortunately it's Saturday night and I need to get this video out on Sunday morning. So what I'm gonna do here is I'll stop here for now, and probably starting beginning of the week Monday, I will come in here with the adhesion promoter, and I'll do a coat of that, and then I'll come in with the 2X primer flat white. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I appreciate everyone watching. Please go out and check out Jordan's website at aligningthestars.com or Aligning the Stars on YouTube, and see what he's managed to get done this week. It's always good to see his progress and see how he does things a little differently than I do mine. I'd also say please go over to Cass at Lake Monster Details. You can see now he's got lots of great stuff coming out soon. I really wish we could have got those window inserts. That would have been great, but right now Canada Post is on strike, so there's no way of him being able to send anything my way right now. And then also I'd like to send a thanks out to Will at the Ensign's Chair on YouTube. He does amazing work, and he was able to send us parts like these fins back here, and he's designed them. He's done an awesome job. So thanks again, Will. Please go check him out. So that being said, thanks for watching, everyone. You take care. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. All